What is Jesus worth to you? What's he worth giving up? What is he worth to you? What's he worth sacrificing? What's he worth to you? Encouraging word today comes out of Luke 14, 25 through 33, are the verses. And I'll be honest with you, most times when I'm reading scripture and I'm getting ready to do this program, I get excited to share with you the great news that the Lord is teaching us through his word. But this one is not exciting in the same kind of sense. It's exciting, all right. It's overwhelmingly exciting in the sense that it's true and it's intense, but it's hard. The cost of being a disciple, the Lord teaches us that there's a cost associated with him saving us and that we need to understand it. So let's look at this and let's see what it all means here. Verse 25, and there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, this is Jesus, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, lest haply, after he hath laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build, and was not able to finish. Or what king, going to make war against another king, sitteth not down first, and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassage, and desireth conditions of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. Wow. So in scripture, there's a passage here that's telling you, you got to love God more than anything. What's anything? Well, more than you love your mama, more than you love your daddy, more than you love your spouse, more than you love your siblings, more than you love yourself. And that's pretty powerful stuff, because a lot of people are not willing to go there. They'll say, God, I'll accept you on my terms, but not your terms. And my terms are that you're important. You're up there with the other important stuff. You know, it's like God and my family, my dog, you know, my stuff. And God's saying, no. I have to be first. So if you're going to be a witness for me, if you're going to be a disciple for me, if you're going to live for me, if you're going to show me that you truly love me, I got to be above everything. And this is very personal to me, because I believe in my heart of hearts, I've had many relationships that have really drifted away since I started serving the Lord some years ago, some that are completely dissolved, and many that were in my own family. See, there's a cost with serving the Lord, and that cost is very serious. And what God is trying to teach us here is he wants us to know about that cost. And, this is kind of a really interesting comparison to the free gift. So we always talk about the free gift of salvation. And it is a free gift. It's free to anyone that's willing to accept it. But when you accept it, and when you come to terms with what Jesus did for you, there is a cost. And here it is in 14, 25 through 33, laid out without any kind of being around the bush or not getting to the point. This is crystal clear. And so here in 26, we see we have to put everything second to God. God has to come first. And then secondly, we see that we have to bear our cross, right? And bearing our cross means that we have to give up things that we like. We have to suffer for the Lord. How can we have empathy to what God did for us? How can we truly understand what God did for us if we never feel any pain? You know, if you know someone that broke their arm, right, and you see them in a cast, and you can say, oh, that looks terrible, I'm really sorry, you know, and you go about your way. But if you've broken your arm and you've had to have that cast on, you know how it itches inside the cast, and you know how you can't quite move, and how much of a pain it is to shower, and how hard it is to sleep at night. You know every little thing about that because you felt the pain. God's saying here, I want you to feel the pain. I want you may not never feel what Jesus felt, what he had to go through, but I want you to feel just enough, a little sliver of it so you can understand what it's like and what Jesus did for us. You have to do it. To be a true disciple, you have to do it. So to be a true disciple, you really can't be happy-go-lucky all the time. You can't have everything worked out for you. You have to do it. You have to both go through suffering and trials as well as separate yourself from those that don't believe, from those that will dilute your testimony, from those that you're putting above God. And that also could be idols, by the way. It's people, but also it could be idols, your job or a possession or anything. Sports team would be another one that comes to mind. Okay, and then here in 28, it talks about, for which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it. Okay, so you're making a big decision, right? You're going to say, okay, I accept Jesus. I'm going to live for the Lord. That's a huge decision, right? And that is a decision. It's actually something you have to decide. It can't be because you're related to somebody. It can't be because you got water baptized as a kid. It can't be because you watch Charles Stanley every Sunday morning. It can't be any of that. It has to be a personal decision. And when you make that decision, what God's teaching us here is you got to count the cost. You got to say, okay, wait a minute. Let me think about this. And I'm speaking to many people in our own church and other churches out there that have decided they want to follow Christ, but then have not been real sure about the cost, whether they want to invest in this. And I don't just mean financially. I mean with their time, with their effort, with their heart. Okay. They haven't calculated the cost. We all need to do this calculation. We need to sit down and say, okay, now I'm going to accept Christ and he's going to save me from an eternity of damnation. And I'm going to live in heaven with him. And I'm going to have heavenly blessings. And I'm going to rule and reign with him forever and have perfect peace and no tears and no pain. And I'm going to have a glorified body and all of God's promises. I'm going to have all that. But let's see, what does he want me to do down here on earth? Okay, he wants me to be a witness. He wants me to love others unconditionally. He wants me